Hey guys, it's Hans Hobbies, and today I have my final thoughts and just updated impressions about my ECX 1/18 scale Ruckus 4x4. If you guys seen my previous videos, I did a brand new unboxing of this. I did a full review of this, and I have made a couple changes, and I have a little bit, a few updated impressions. And then I have one more video that this thing's gonna show up on, and then after that, I'm done with it. And I'll talk more about that in a second. So, the first, you can see a couple things have already changed. You can see the wheels and tires are different, and you can see something shiny underneath the body. So, we'll take a look at that. So first of all, if you guys haven't seen the review video, please check that out. That has a lot more information about this truck and my overall thoughts about it. But but basically, long story short, this is a very good truck. You get this thing brand new out of the box for about $99 before tax, and what you get is a really durable, really fun to drive, bashing monster truck. Um, the handling on this thing is kind of sloppy, and the shock caps will pop off all the time, and the stock tires suck. These are the stock tires. I really like the tread of these tires. They look very cool. But the tire compound is very. I'm squeezing it pretty hard. It's really, really firm. So these don't give you very good traction at all in basically any surface. So these are basically useless. Just for an out of the box kind of bashing situation, they do work. You're not gonna sit there spinning tires. But if you wanted to drive a little bit more precise, you're gonna want to replace these tires pretty quickly. So in pursuit of trying to find some replacement tires, I tried the Latrax Teton tires because I had them on hand. Um, they are a little bit softer, um, but the compound isn't any softer. I think they're softer just by virtue of just being a thinner tire than this. Um, So these didn't help the traction all that much. The tread pattern's a little bit more aggressive, so it does do a little bit better off-road, but on-road it didn't really help the traction very much. And it's kind of hard to find good wheels and tires for this at the moment, just because this size of monster truck is not something that's supported very well by aftermarket companies. So basically, you can put new different tires and stuff on it, but you're basically stuck with RTR tires, unless you go over to like smaller wheels and tires, even smaller wheels and tires, um, like the ones on the 1/18 scale Yeti Junior. Like these tires are really good tires. They're really soft, foam filled. These are actually decent tires. And I could try them on here, but they're significantly significantly narrower. So I don't know. You're definitely gonna lose some of the aesthetic, monster truck aesthetic, as well as some um, overall contact patch. So, uh, kind of stumped on the tire department, but I did tell you guys that I was gonna do a separate like mini review of the shocks on this thing. Now I don't have any running footage of the truck with these shocks, but let me tell you, these shocks are significantly better than the stock shocks. First of all, it comes with two separate springs. It comes with these black softer springs, which are closer to like stock spring stiffness, and then it comes the silver springs that come attached to these out of the package are really stiff. I would recommend the really stiff silver ones for mostly on-road driving. If you're gonna do off-road bashing and stuff like that, I would recommend putting on these softer black spring, because even the softer springs, when you put the oil on it and stuff, and these hold oil really, really well. I did a considerable amount of jumping and bashing with it, and they're not leaking any so far. They also look fantastic. They don't really match the color scheme of the truck, but they do look pretty cool. They are threaded and adjustable, so that's really cool. And just they're very smooth. Excuse me. They're very smooth and very nice shocks. So I'm pretty happy with these. You can see the truck is a lot less bouncy. The only bounce you're getting is the bounce from the air-filled tires, but the chassis itself isn't like wallowing around like it used to. So definitely, if you are looking at getting one of these, I would definitely recommend these shocks. They are a little bit pricey, but I think they are worth it if you plan on keeping this thing long term. Now, one thing you do have to be careful of, and one thing you also have to note, is the replacement hardware is 1.5 millimeter hex driver, whereas all the other hardware on this thing is Phillips. So you're gonna have to pull out two separate tools to work on this thing once you have these shocks. Also, another thing you have to note is at the bottom mount here, at the lower eyelet, there's a little like metal ball, like a little metal ball, like a ball joint thing in there, and it doesn't like snap in or plug in or anything. It just kind of sits in there, and the only thing holding it in here is just being sandwiched between the slot for the shock eyelet, lower eyelet, and being held in place with a screw. So you will lose that if you're not careful. So when you're assembling this, or even disassembling this again, when you're working on the truck, I would definitely recommend you work on a surface, like a soft surface, so you won't have that little piece like bounce around away from you. If you have a hard surface like this desk here, it will bounce around and then it'll fall off your desk and you'll never find it. It's very, very small, and you're not gonna, it's not really a part these sell separately. It's not a part you can get at the hardware store or anything like that. So you really want to be careful not to lose the little piece in there. So, but other than that, these are really good shocks. I'm really happy with these shocks, and I'm actually gonna take these back off because I'm going to keep this shock. Whereas the rest of the vehicle, I'm actually going to get rid of. I mentioned in my review that I absolutely love this truck, and I definitely recommend this truck to anyone that is wanting it for the holidays. But as far as my life with it goes, I think I'm done with it. It's been a lot of fun. I do like the truck a lot, but it's time to move on to new things, and I've gotten to the point in my RC hobby and collection where I can't keep all the stuff that I review. I often just get stuff to review for you guys, and just to review for anyone else in the hobby, just looking for vehicles. And I just generally like reviewing vehicles. So I got this thing just to try it out and to review, and I think I've achieved all I want to achieve with this thing, and I think I've reached its full potential, other than the tires, of course. So I'm basically done with this thing. I put the full ball bearing kit in here, so it runs a lot smoother, and the shocks definitely help as well. So yep, you guys will see this truck one last time, because somebody in one of my previous in the review for this thing was asking me if I could compare this truck to the newly released Red Cat Volcano 16, aka the high boxing or HBX 16889, and asking if I could compare it to that. And I've actually got the high boxing or HBX 16889 and have been testing this. You can see the body's pretty beat up, and I have my Red Cat Volcano 16 coming in the mail. According to the tracker, it should be here by this Friday. So look out for the comparison video for that. I do have to do some more testing on the Volcano and stuff. I did get my driving impressions out of this one, which is the identical truck. So I might be able to do some comparisons between the three trucks, but mostly between this group of this pair of trucks and then the ECX. So I already have some initial things I note, even just between these two, but I want to wait for the Red Cat to come in and get that in my hands before I do the comparison video for that. But that is coming up very, very soon, probably by this weekend. So if you guys want to see that, you guys can subscribe, comment down below, leave me a like, all that good YouTube shenanigans, and I will see you guys next time.